Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good day. It is March 5th, and today I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about what we have going on right now, because today we actually did have a marginal risk in areas of southeastern Texas, and didn't really do too much, but it's not over yet. And we're just going to be looking into that, and we're also going to be looking into next week, because like what's been happening every day, next week continues to get more interesting every day. And so yeah, so let's get started. Right now, we did have some interesting storms in Oklahoma last night. Nothing too bad, but it was pretty interesting. And this has moved further to the southeast, the same storm system. And yeah, sorry about that, but we can play it out here. This is where we have our marginal today. Now we can see we did have a little bit of some stuff go off in that area, especially in the western part of the marginal, kind of by Houston. But it seems like there was a lot of dry air, a little bit more than expected. We go over to water vapor real quick. Let's do that. Sorry, just give me a second. All right, yeah, so there we go. And we have a little bit of dry air, and this is mid-level. So we have a little bit of dry air coming in here. Not an extreme amount, just a little bit. So that can kind of work to limit it. Now this is only mid-level, though. We can look at low level. I think low level is a little bit worse. Yeah, low level is a little bit worse. Pretty much the whole marginal is now dominated by dry, low level water vapor. Do have a little bit of some moist right there. That is one of the thunderstorms actually that we have ongoing. It's not really a thunderstorm. It's just pretty much a heavy shower. I guess it's the word for it. You can see most of the moist air, or moist low level water vapor, sorry, is to the east of the actual low. Now, you can see likely on the back side are bringing more dry air inside of this. So that could work to limit. I think it did work to limit some of the thunderstorms we did have in that area. Now we can go see what's going on right now. Let's use radar Omega. We don't have a whole lot going on. We can see this is our marginal right here. It extends around east of Houston over into Lake Charles. It's this green box right here, and general thunderstorms surrounding that. And pretty much the strongest storm we have right now is down here. This is kind of towards Galveston. It's just passed over the radar, the Houston radar. Went through League City. And now it's further to the southeast. You can see we did have several storms go off before, but they didn't really last too long. They did actually look pretty interesting on reflectivity. Some of them looked like they could have been what I call baby supercells, or baby sups, in that area. West of the margin, or the west part of the marginal, seems to have done the most so far. We go to the east side. First off, let me just get rid of this. There we go. We go to the east side. Let's go over to the Lake Charles radar, so we can view this area better. And we have a lot of heavy rain to the north of Lake Charles, like in between Lake Charles and Alexandria. Maybe some lightning embedded in there. But it seems like there's not a lot of organized thunderstorm activity in this area at all. Maybe the most organized seems to be maybe down by Cameron, but definitely not as bad as what's over by League. So yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting storm. Not severe or anything, I don't think. No, it's not. And we do actually have a special weather statement in Shreveport. Let's take a look at that first. I think it's right over the radar probably, so that's not that good. Okay, yeah, so we actually do have some storms in the northeast of the marginal in this area. A few over Shreveport. In fact, that special weather statement that was right here just got canceled, but we do have some storms up here by Shreveport, especially to the south of town. So yeah, it's pretty much it. Nothing really significant tonight. So let's go back to here. Now let's take a look at the models, because like I said, next week is looking more interesting. And tonight we can see the storm system kind of goes into Florida and brings pretty rain to much of central, south, and north Florida. Maybe even some snow in the North Georgia mountains tonight. GFS is not the only model showing that. We do have increase, or we have more moisture moving into that area than expected. Um, and yeah, so next week, this is now Monday afternoon. We have a low centered in northern Wyoming. Doesn't seem like we have any good moisture access from the Gulf or anything. The northwestern Gulf is a little cold also. Part of that was because of the mid-February significant Arctic blast for the central U.S. That's part of the reason for that. But we can see we have strong southerly winds going up through the plains. So a pretty windy day Monday in the plains. You have mountain snow behind this storm system, where we do have a little bit of moisture for that. And then we go into Monday evening. Seems like we start to get, we don't really get moisture with the storm system, actually. Now, this is what I've been watching for a while that I thought would change. It's no longer going to be a big like winter storm for this area. GFS was forecasting a pretty large winter storm in this area, but we also did have a lot of moisture coming up like through here to give us heavy snow. We don't have any moisture really. We have some moisture, of course, yeah, but we can see we have no rain for the whole plains. The cold front, pretty much, there's like no moisture. Now we do have dew points that are good, but we don't really have moisture actually making it up. So we're not going to really have that big winter storm for this area with that low pressure. Now, the second one, though, is looking interesting. This is Wednesday afternoon. We have snow in Minnesota, South Dakota and Nebraska. This is when I think we could maybe start to see some severe weather. This is Wednesday afternoon next week. We have a little bit of moisture coming. We can see maybe some showers kind of in this area. Strong southwesterlies moving into this area. We have a cold front setting up like this. I'll kind of draw what we have going on. So we have our warm front like this, maybe some kind of stationary front, and a cold front down here. Pretty simple storm system. And in front of this, we're going to have strong winds, and that's going to be bringing up a little bit of moisture. Not a ton, but enough for severe weather this time of year. And we have a lot of lift with this cold front, and that is going to be supporting severe weather. We go to 0021Z. The GFS starts to indicate a line forming, maybe in some supercells, and a strong line of storms form. But we're not just going to look at this. We're going to look at some other stuff. Yeah, we can see that, and then we have another low pressure, which that could bring it maybe further to the south, maybe into the southern plains or Dixie, with that one. This is the first one though. This one we could have a lot of thunderstorms, maybe in like the Midwest. That's actually only 5 days out now, so we're getting closer to it, and probably by Sunday we'll have the NAM. So that's going to be very helpful because that's a shorter range model. So, now let's look at some of the ingredients for this. We're going to look at dew points and wind barbs. One of my favorite things to look at. So you can see today we actually did pretty moist air in southeastern Texas in front of that low. And then it seems Monday afternoon we start to get that moisture return up into the plains. And strong southerly winds. We don't really have a lot, though. We only have dews in the 40s, nothing significant. And then as we go through Tuesday, that moisture continues to build. By maybe Tuesday, we could get severe weather. I think the chance is a little bit lower than Wednesday. We have a surface low right there, cold front here, warm front up here, maybe another low right there, maybe some kind of stationary front right here. And then we do have moist air in this area. Not extremely moist. Like if this was summertime, that'd actually be classified as kind of dry. Dews in the 50s. But for this time of year, that's pretty good in the Midwest. And then Wednesday, we even have dews in 60s in some areas. So I think Wednesday looks very interesting at this point. GFS shows moist air in this area. We have plenty of lift. So I think severe weather will be a thing probably in this area right here. Maybe a little bit further to the east and north and the south, depending on how the low actually tracks. Now, let's go ahead and look at the European and see how the European differs from the GFS. The European is a little bit different. So yeah, next Wednesday, Or next Tuesday, we have our surface low really in the same area, northeastern Colorado. We have dews in the 40s though, so not a lot of moisture. But then Wednesday evening, or not Wednesday evening, yeah, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, we have our surface low kind of tracking up from Kansas into Wisconsin, and with that, we have the chance of severe weather in this area right here, along that cold front. Now, details about like where we get like the slight risk, the enhanced. If we no, we're probably not going to get enhanced risk with this. It's definitely possible, but I'm not gonna say that yet. Where we get like the marginal, if we get a slight risk, where this all happens, like where the SPC issues at, that is kind of unsure at this point. Because this is, keep in mind, this is pretty far out still. This is next Wednesday, so that's exactly 5 days. But yeah, I do think we're going to be seeing severe weather likely in this area right here. Now, the magnitude of what we see with severe weather, that's the main uncertain thing at this point. If we see like a slight risk, an enhanced risk, that's very uncertain at this point. But yeah, let's also take a look at can't really look at anything with the European because I don't have subscription to Pivotal Weather yet. I gotta get that. But let's look at things like instability real quick. So let's go out to Wednesday. Now the GFS sometimes underdoes CAPE. But you can see we do have Wednesday. We have a nice stretch of CAPE. This is surface based though, so can be a little bit off can be a little bit off sometimes. We have a nice band of it coming all the way up into Wisconsin, and then even Thursday. Or actually, Thursday we really don't have that. Maybe it's limited mainly into this area, and then this is the old version of the GFS. That's why Pivotal Weather sometimes is annoying like that. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar to the 12Z, the 18Z. Yeah, you can see we had that nice band of CAPE going up into Wisconsin Wednesday. Even Wednesday evening, we have almost 1,000 CAPE. This is surface-based, though, but we have almost 1,300, 1,400 surface-based CAPE in Kansas. That's pretty good. I mean, not good, but that's okay. And sometimes, keep in mind, the GFS does sometimes underdo the CAPE, because it does have a cold bias. Now, Thursday, we really don't have a whole lot of CAPE. It's mainly limited to the Southern Plains, Missouri area. And then Friday, once again, we don't really have a whole lot of it. We do get some more, though, in this area in front of that next storm system, where we could also have a chance of some severe weather with that. Now, that details on that storm system, that's pretty far out at this point. That's not my main focus. The one before that in the Midwest is my main focus. But I'm going to keep my eye on that one. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in tomorrow's video because we're closer to it. But that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Friday.